like and subscribe. If your partner cheated on their ex to get with you, and now you're in a relationship, how do you trust them? You don't. The real question is, why did you get in a relationship with someone you didn't trust in the first place? Used to be we are not together anymore. I did not trust her. I convinced myself that I was an exception, until almost 2 years later, when I noticed some really familiar behaviors. This is my dad's story. He married his mistress. They are still married, but it was very bumpy. My dad's side of the family still seems to miss my mom. I don't know how to feel about that. Used to be in a relationship like that. After cheating on him, she ended up cheating back on me afterwards, to get with the same guy, basically juggling the both of us. Took me 1.5 years to realize that was not worth it. I would not start a relationship with such a woman in the first place. I know a couple I work with that were both in unhappy marriages when they first started working together 20 years ago. They are both paramedics, so they had spent 24 hours together and developed feelings for each other. I guess they cheated on their significant others and then later told their significant others so they could be together. They seem so in love with each other now and constantly talk about one another, and they are in their 50s and have been together 20 years. I am not saying that this is right. It is gross and wrong, but it does not always mean the person will cheat again. Sometimes there is just someone out there that is better. As a counter to the naysayers, I dated someone 4 years who left her husband for me. I never once questioned her loyalty. People don't cheat just to be tie. Sometimes there's a reason they don't care about the relationship anymore. Last girl I was with left her boyfriend to be with me. I made the big mistake of being with her, even though she had a massive amount of issues. She's not a good person, and guess what, she did the same thing to me. I'll never put myself in that kind of situation ever again. It's just not worth it. Also, she always said she was loyal. God, I was dumb. She's also the type that can't be alone apparently, so she will just burn every relationship to the ground eventually. There was a girl once who cheated on their partner for me. I was infatuated, so I dated her. From the same logic that others have stated, just because she cheated on her partner does not mean she will cheat on me. We dated for 4 years, until she cheated on me. The saying, once a cheater always a cheater, exists, and there are studies to prove this. Trust people's nature. If it is in their nature, they will not magically change their nature. It is the frog and the scorpion story. However, you do need to understand the situation. Like in my example, my ex cheated on her partner because she fell out of love and appreciated the connection she had with me. We dated for 4 years and she did not cheat until she fell out of love for me. Our relationship became work. It was not fun and exciting anymore. She would spend most of her time online talking to friends. The connection she made with her friends was more intimate than the connection she had with me. So vertical bar, she cheated. It is in her nature to do so. Therefore, when people say, dating a cheater does not mean they will cheat on you, is true, as long as they do not feel like they need to. But cheating is in their nature. There is no denying that. Nothing lasts forever, not even love. Therefore, one day you will fall out of love with each other, but everyone is different. Some people, when they fall out of love, will think it is time to break up / separate. Some people, when they fall out of love, will think, well, we need to stay together still, because we are a team now, a partnership. Some people, when they fall out of love, will think, oh, this other person has my attention, I am going to cheat. I think a lot of what you said makes sense, so vertical bar, except the idea that everyone falls out of love. I only have 20-something years of experience with this marriage, and theoretically things could still go off the rails, but so far so good. Is the love the same as the beginning? Vertical bar, no. It is different, but it is still very much love. It is still very passionate. It is just not new anymore. I think a lot of people equate love with the initial infatuation stage, which generally lasts a few years, and bail on the relationship as soon as that stage wanes. You will always have this question in the back of your mind, and it will never really let you truly commit, regardless of how it happened: dead marriage, unhappy relationship, work closeness that leads to an affair, etc. Or regardless of how they are as a person. Just let it go when it's early, before the paranoia sets in. So here's an alternative viewpoint. I was the cheater. Emphasis on was. I was in a marriage that was pretty much 1 foot in the grave already. I met someone who made me feel things again, and I took my shot. 11 years later, she and I are still as happy as the day we first decided to do this, and I've never once regretted my decision. It takes a lot of effort that I put in every single day to make sure she knows that I only want for her and no one else. Just because I did it once doesn't mean I'll do it again, and before I did it to my ex-wife, I had never done it before. Sometimes, decisions like marrying the wrong person end with the right decision of finding someone you can spend forever with. We both cheated on our exes to be with each other. Now I'm not saying it works in all relationships, but I can honestly say it took work, and by that I mean, when we became official we made a promises to each other. 1. We have to be brutally honest, it's a lot harder than people think, and not something I was used to at all. Whenever we had disagreements, or we annoy each other, or just being honest with our feelings on subjects we may have different views on. 2. Kind of goes in hand, but we need to communicate our thoughts and feelings without judgment. 3. We need to respect each other's rights to disagree on said topic and feelings. 4. Total transparency. We don't have joint accounts, but we can see each other's accounts, phones, emails, etc. at any time we want. 5. We learned how to argue. No, we aren't perfect at it, but in 7 years we've had 2 big fights. We give each other space and time if it gets too heated, and we usually resolve the issue by apologizing to each other at the end. 6. When a person apologizes we take it seriously, and we forgive seriously. 7. We don't bring up past arguments/dramas. We both agree we have never been happier. This is the most healthiest relationship we've both ever been in. So yes, it can work, but it takes effort and realization of where you went wrong in your other relationships that lead you to cheating in the first place. I wonder what might happen if we never knew they cheated on someone to get to us. Edit. What if we marry them without knowing their past? Just curious though. She cheated on her current boyfriend at the time we ended up together. She was unhappy, dude was an asshole, and cheated on her. She took her shot and a week later they broke up. Been living with this gorgeous girl for 2 years now, dating for 5. You done it. I always say, if the girl do it with you, the girl do it to you. I did trust him for a long time, but I knew eventually it would end the same way it began. It took 7 years, but it happened. At some point of their previous relationship they considered them someone very special. The new relationship isn't any different, and it's definitely gonna happen again. I am gonna give you some advice. You love who you love, and don't take advice from people on Reddit. They're probably dudes who are just into stealing other guys' girlfriends, and aren't planning on sticking around. Nope. You done it. Well, low vertical bar, I don't know it, but apparently there are some people that either push it out their minds or something. It seems so obvious. Only because someone cheated on their previous partner doesn't necessarily mean it will cheat on you. Different people have different influence on other people, therefore their behavior is closely related to that experience. It also depends what's your relationship based off. How do you know that previous partner wasn't controlling or something else? You don't. You definitely cannot stop someone cheating on you, but you can pay attention to details and your gut feeling. Other than that, trust or don't, that's it. To me it shows the certain core characteristics of this person. Theo willing to break Somiano's trust for their gain. tells me feel selfish and lack empathy. Breaking up and coming clean with your partner takes guts, tells me they lack courage. They lack self-control. These are all the qualities that I don't want in my partner. So even if they never cheat on you, these core characteristics are difficult to change and require a lot of effort. Source: I have played all three roles: cheater, cheated and cheated with. Lots of immediate no answers here. But it depends. My best friend's wife originally got with him by cheating on her husband at the time. Sounds bad, right? But her husband was an abusive monster, and that's not even exaggerating. On the other hand, she is the best thing to happen to my best friend ever. One of the kindest souls I've ever met. And her kids now refer to my friend as dad. If she was just unfaithful, because that's her nature, then fine. Nope, out of there, if you want a stable relationship. Otherwise, keep an eye on the why. And yes, this matters regardless of gender/sexuality/etc. People make mistakes. I am all about second chances. I am not about third chances though. I have known a couple people that did this. Both were codependent women. One ended up marrying the person she had an affair with, and the other cold no at manage to get a relationship started with the person she had an affair with, so she is still with her abusive husband. Once people are in a relatively stable relationship, even if it is toxic, it is very difficult to get out of it for some people, and the only way to get out of it is to get into another relationship without any downtime in between. It is not ideal, but that is the only way some people can do it. Speaking as someone who cheated on my previous partner and is now living my best life with my current partner, I want to chime in with an underrepresented point of view in this thread: the cheater. I cheated on my ex for a myriad of reasons, but the fact remains the same. I broke our trust and entered into the half of the population who has done it. I instantly got together with the person I cheated my ex with, because I actually felt alive with her. I felt happy, it challenged me, it made me better. She was everything my ex wasn't: confident, logically motivated, smart as hell, and a high achiever. I needed that. I could not stay with a stagnant person. I could not stay with a person who said they loved me more than anything. In the same breath they said, where do I see myself in 15 years? Probably dead from drug abuse. I could not stay with a person who managed to have more demons than me, and with whom the relationship would have never developed into a lifelong bond. Does that excuse the cheating? No. I should have broken up with her, and then gotten with my new partner. But I made the mistake, and it tore me apart. Not as much as it did my ex, obviously, but it still tore me apart, and made me question everything. Was I going to repeat that pattern my whole life? Was I effectively a type partner for the rest of my life? Of course not. I understand the spite that people have towards cheaters. In your eyes, it might be the worst thing someone can do to another person. That is fair, but that is not how I view things. This part of my life made me grow like nothing else, and I started my relationship with my new partner on a basis of full trust and I tell you everything kind of thing. I now live with my partner and we are probably getting engaged in 2 to 3 years. I'm in the best shape I've ever been in, mentally, socially and career-wise. Most of that is due to the standards I've held myself to since I ended it with my ex. Recently, a female friend of mine tried to kiss me, even though she knows I'm in a committed relationship. Maybe she has the same opinion you guys seem to have. He's cheated once before. I can probably snap him for myself. Nah, I walked away. A mistake is not forever. You've been visited by the ghost of a very important man. Pay your respects by liking and subscribing, and he'll grant you 3 weeks of good luck.